All right, folks, it is Monday. It is pour day. So I've got the resin already poured. I'm figuring somewhere around 18 ounces, something like that. And so let's just get this done. My lovely assistant is going to help me. This is the part that always makes me the most nervous, but it's the part that I look forward to, actually, seeing how it comes out. Now my lovely assistant says it's best to pour from the inside out, so
yes, because she knows everything.
She's the pour queen. That didn't sound right, did it?
No, it didn't.
Gosh, it feels like I'm not going to have enough.
It always does.
All right, let's move that stuff and see how that works out. So now, there's something that that I've been kind of playing with that I want to try on this particular project. And oh, by the way, we've leveled this all out, so it is pretty much right on the money, perfectly level. But when I've done pours before on signs that I've carved, the one thing that I don't like is that it completely fills up all the carving, so you can't really tell that it's carved unless you look really, really close. So what I'm going to attempt to do is actually I want the finish like a full pour, but I also want to be able to see that it's carved. So that presents a bit of a conundrum, let's say. So what I'm going to attempt to do is let it set up to a certain viscosity and then try and fish some of that resin out of the carving itself. I don't know whether I'm going to be successful in this attempt, but that's what I'm going to try to do. Now, I could have obviously eliminated that issue by just spraying a finish on. No doubt, I could have eliminated that, but I just love the looks of this resin so much that I really wanted
You can see like the depth right there.
That's what I was hoping for, is that once the resin got on there, you could see the depth of those fills. Yeah, you can over here too. Not quite as much, but that was a really deep one. But this is what I wanted. This is the look that I wanted with the resin on top of my 3D letters, basically, is it just flowing over the edge. That's really what I was hoping for there. I just don't know whether I'm going to be successful at being able to fish or sponge, I guess, the resin out of the carved areas. I'm pretty sure I'm never going to get it out of these little letters here, but I'm hoping that that I can get it out of these areas here and
the actual carved parts.
The carved parts, other than those little tiny www website letters there. Oh, and I mentioned on last video that I did trim this thing down. So, and I'm glad I did. I think it looks much more proportional. Are you going over the live edge too, babe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did.
All right. Just checking.
I'm trying to pull the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
I think you might have too much.
Huh?
I think you might have too much.
Yeah, I've still got a pretty good amount in the cup. So that's all right. I'd much rather have too much than not enough. It's all flowing pretty well so far. This top edge here didn't have hardly any on it. Okay, guys, I think we're going to turn the camera off. You guys don't need to see all this boring stuff. We'll come back and see if I'm, after a few minutes, and see if I'm successful in getting that resin out of the carved parts and keeping it out of there. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, the pour is about halfway cured. We're going to stay with it, just to make sure we get all the bubbles out. I've changed my mind on trying to dig the resin out of the carved spots. Vicki and I talked about it and kind of went back and forth, but it looks so great the way it is. You guys know it's carved. Drew's going to know it's carved. Everybody knows it's carved.
Well, if you look at it, you can see.
I just don't want it. It looks almost perfect the way it is, the way that pour looks. The boom looks exactly the way I wanted it to, with the resin flowing off the edges of it. It looks exactly the way, even better than I had hoped. So I'm not going to take a chance and mistime it and try and dig the resin out of those carved spots. It looks too good. I just don't want to mess with it. Man, do I love the grain of that board. Yeah, I'm absolutely enthralled. I'm in love with this thing. Anyway, Drew, I decided to keep it. Sorry, man. It's mine. Just kidding. I'll be shipping it off pretty soon. Anyway, we'll come back on the next scene when this thing's all dried and ready to go. Okay, folks, it is done. The resin has dried, and what I want to cover here is what I did right and what I did wrong, and then a couple little questions. But I'm going to tip it up, and here we go. Here it is. I am like just super happy with the way it came out. Everything,
The other way.
and now the other way. So we're hoping that this translates and comes through on camera. Just how cool this
Let's see the
epoxy looks. Huh? The
Ends.
ends? Okay, so there's the live edge on the bottom. And I'll spin it around and show the live edge on the top, which I really like that live edge on the top part.
Down. Just the end, a little bit. Down.
Down.
Just
the end. Like that?
yes.
You gotta draw me diagrams.
We've got to get some kind of. Okay, now you can. Tip
We need a signal system. Anyway, so what I did right is that, and the ends actually, the end grains actually came out pretty well too. There's a couple little places where it soaked in a little more than I would have wanted.
And you see you need to sand the bottom of it.
Yeah, I need to take those drips off the backside, which I will do. That's easy. Anyway, okay, so what I did right. I used the right resin, no doubt. This is actually what you guys saw in the last scene was the first pour. This is actually after 2 pours. And I mixed it right. I had the right amount, kind of. I'll go into that in a minute. I'm loving the way the acrylic paints look. This is the one shot, remember? I did a lot of things right. Now, what I did wrong was that after that first pour, what I found, and the last scene, there was 0 bubbles, but bubbles came up after a while, and some of them I didn't catch in time. So then I knew I'm going to have to patch those in. So what I did was I took my Dremel tool, and where the bubbles were, I ground them out. And there's tons of videos, YouTube videos on epoxy stuff out there that show that. But basically I just ground them out, and then I thought, well, I should be able to just patch those in. There was probably a couple dozen spots where I could have just dropped some in, and then assuming that it would just flow out. My wife said, I don't think it'll do that. I think you're going to have to pour the whole thing again. I said, nah, I think it'll flow out. Well,
Go ahead.
wife was right. Yes,
You were
she was right
wrong.
again. So, you guys
Wait,
should
I
have
wanna
seen
hear
me.
this again.
No, I was wrong. Vicky was right. Yes. Are you happy? Is that I'll sign a document if you'd like me to.
It was awesome when I woke up and that's the first thing you said to me.
So anyway, when I started patching this in was like 5 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to get it done early, and Vicky was already still asleep, of course. Anyway, I'll just leave
you just
that.
had to throw that
I had to throw that in there. But what happened was it just kind of splotched, and I was panicking. I mean, I was panicking, thinking I just screwed this whole thing up. Sorry for my language. Anyway, I had a little bit left in the cup because I only mixed like 6 ounces, so I thought that would be plenty to fill in these spots. And I was trying to get it to spread, and it was looking horrible. And I had a little bit left, and I poured just this corner and just poured it, not touching it with a brush or nothing, and it looked good. Then I had to really quickly, because I was about a half hour in now, and you only got 45 minutes working time technically on this stuff, so I had to mix some more real quick and then pour the rest of it, and this is how it came out. So, and then taking so basically what I learned was that it really needs to be sealed up. The next one I do, I'm going to try and completely seal it up first before I put any epoxy on it. I may do it with Helmsman, I may do it with the acrylic spray, I don't know, but I need to somehow try and completely seal up the surface to keep those bubbles from coming through. But yes, I'm super happy
say that
with
one
it.
more time?
I'm super.
No,
that part?
No.
I'm happy with it? Which part do you mean?
You know which part you mean. Go ahead.
Yes, Vicky was right. She knows more about this. And had she been with me at the time when I was doing it, it would have been nice.
Wait,
but
okay,
no, that was
finish it.
obviously, way too early in the morning for her.
Vicky was right.
Yes, I was wrong. Vicky was right.
There you go.
Yeah. But at least I was here. But I'll just leave that.
You could have done it later.
I just leave that
I
alone.
don't do 5
Anyway,
in the morning.
it is done. I'm going to sand off the back, and Drew, it is on the way. So as we speak, it's on the way to you. Should be there in a few days. Hope you like it, my friend. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Oh yeah, I've got to go over. I had a question, a comment on the YouTube channel. Why did you hand paint these inset letters and not spray it? Well, I only spray 2 different kinds of product currently. I'm looking at some other, but either the primer or the ink. And I'm limited on colors on the ink. The primer only comes in like black and gray and maybe a white or something. So that's the reason that I didn't spray that. And I really like these little water-based acrylics. And the cool thing about these, like you guys saw, is I don't have to be real careful, and it just sands off really cool. So I have much more colors available to me in these than I do in the ink. I will not spray paint on this from what my knowledge is now. I would not have risked spraying spray paint on this stuff. Anyway, so I hope that answers that question. I think I answered it on YouTube already. But so that is it. We're going to ship this thing off. On Wednesday's video, we'll be starting on, we'll be doing something else. I don't know exactly what. But again, thanks, Drew, so much for the opportunity. I hope you like it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I have to say, this is my favorite ever as far as my collaborations go. And I've done some pretty cool signs. But the way this one, and I knew that logo was going to be a challenge, but I knew if I could pull it off that it was going to look pretty stinking cool. So even though it was all the color and painting, it was definitely necessary on this one. So thanks again, Drew. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If you have any questions on this or anything else, please let me know directly at my email, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I'm on every day on Instagram, Make a Wood Sign. If you have any questions for Vicky, which please ask her anything. I want her to
leave you alone.
Yeah. VickyWithDaveSigns@gmail.com. Anyway, guys, love you all. Hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you on Wednesday. Bye.